Hello everyone, this is your mentor Ritesh and welcome back to Dive into Analytics. This channel is all about diving into the concepts of data science, simplifying it in easy terms and making it fun. So let's begin with today's concept. Let's dive into the wonderful world of SQL, specifically focusing on the group by statement and aggregate functions. The group by statement in SQL is like a magical tool that helps us organize our data into meaningful groups based on certain criteria. Imagine you have a table full of information and you want to group together rows that share similar values in a specific column. That's exactly what group by does. The group by statement in SQL is used to arrange identical data into groups with the help of some functions. If a particular column has a same values in different rows, then it will arrange these rows in a group. So let's see how it works. That is its syntax. This part tells SQL which columns you want to include in your final result. This part from specifies the table from which you are selecting the data. Okay, this one is optional. You can include conditions here to filter the data before grouping. And write this group by. This is where the magic happens. You specify which columns you want to use as the basis for grouping. Now let's talk about aggregate functions. These are special functions in SQL that perform calculations on a set of values and return a single value. You have to give a stress in the part where it returns a single value. So you have to remember that. Here are some common aggregate functions: min, max, count, sum, and average. These functions are incredibly useful for getting insights from your data without having to manually crunch numbers. I would request you all to download this file named Practice SQL with DIA. This file has codes already written to create a database and to create this table. You simply have to delete these parts, these and these parts, and run these codes to create the table in your local database. Since I have already created this table, I'm not going to run this again. After this, you will find these codes. You can use them to revise the concepts. Below, you will find a few problem statements. Work on these questions to understand the concept better and get a hands-on practice. Slowly and gradually, as we progress, I will keep on adding more problem statements. This file would be uploaded in our Telegram channel and the link of that channel would be provided in the description. So I would request you all to join the channel and download this file and start practicing. Now let's understand group by and aggregate function by solving few questions. But before that, let's select our database. For this, we have to select and run. Let's scroll down. Imagine it's your first day as a data analyst. Your boss approaches you and says, "Hey Ritesh, I want you to find the minimum salary of employees in each department." How would you go about doing this? Let's see. The first thing that we are going to do is write the question, because when you people will download the file, I want you to understand what was the question, so it will make it easier for you to understand everything. Okay, so let's write our first question, that is, now you can see the question here. The first thing that we always do is we write our select query. So let's start that. Let's run our select query to see our table. So this is our table employee. Employee ID, first name, last name, job title, department, and salary. What is the minimum salary of employees in each department? So there are multiple departments and we have to find the minimum salary in those of these departments. So in output, we want department. So let's make changes in our select statement. Here we will write we want minimum salary. For this, we are going to use our aggregate functions. So which function we are going to use here? We will use min function. We will write min, and between this parenthesis, we have to pass the name of the column, that is salary. So we want minimum of salary. Let's see what this min function does. This min function return the smallest value within the selected column. So the column that we are going to select, that is that we will pass in this parenthesis, it will select and will return the smallest value, and we are going to group by this based on department, because in output we want department to be grouped. Okay, so this is our query. Let's select this and click on execute. You can see here we have a department null where we have a set. Don't worry about these nulls. In department we have null which has 70,000 as a salary. Don't worry about these nulls. In later videos I will show how to work on these nulls. For now you can ignore it. In finance the minimum salary is 60,000. So if a person working in any finance department, the minimum of those employees salary is 60,000. So who is earning less? That's a sales department. So people working in sales department, they have the lowest salary. So this is how you use group by to group the data. Now let's move to the next question. So the next question is, which department has maximum salary of employees in his department? The question is similar. It's instead of min, it's this time you have to find the maximum. So let's copy this question, and here instead of minimum we will write maximum. Let's write again our select statement. Let's select this because we are going to need this again and again. So let's copy this. Let's run this query. In output, we want department is department, and against that we want maximum salary. So we will make changes in select statement. We will write here department. For maximum salary, we are going to use the function max of salary. That's it. And then we have to group the department. That's it. Now let's select this query and run. Now you can see that the data has been changed. Like for null, now it's 80,000. For finance, it is 80,000, but for sales, still it's a 50,000. So what this data concludes? Let's see here. For finance, 60,000. So someone who's working in finance department, his or her minimum salary is 60,000, and maximum they are earning is 80,000. And for sales, it's the same. It's 50,000. That's how you write these codes, runs, and see your data. And then you make your analytical approaches. So now let's see what this max function does. It returns the largest value within the selected column. Now let's see the next question. Next question is, how many employees are there in each department? So let's write our question. Let's see this question again. The question is, how many employees are there in each department? In output, we want the column department, and against that, we want total number of employees based on select statement. Let's run this query. Now in this question, what you have to do is we have to go to department. So let's say we'll pick sales, and then we will see how many employees are there in sales. So 1, and then again 2, and again 3. Now you don't have to count this. For this, we have an inbuilt function, and that is, let's see. So first we want department, and to count those employees, we are going to use count function. Let's write. So we have to count. Count what? We have to count employees. We can use any column, whether it's employee ID, first name, last name, doesn't matter. But we are going to count this employee ID. And then we want our data to be grouped on department. So we'll write. Let's run. And you can see that we have two nulls. In finance, we have 6 people working. As in HR department, we have 10 people. In IT, we have 13 people. So the lowest is in sales department, 5 people. And in finance, we have, and high max is IT with 13 people. So let's see what this count function does. This count function returns the number of rows in a set. So what this count function does is that it goes to every column where says its department. Now if there's a sales department, it will count to 1. Then it goes to the next rows and it keeps on going until it goes to the last row. Whatever the rows it counts, and in output it gives us. So that's how this count function works. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, what is the total salary of employees in this department? Let's write our question. So let's paste our select statement and let's make changes in our select statement. We want department. So let's go with the department. We want what is the total salary. Like if in finance we have 6 people, one person has a 60,000 minimum, other person is 65,000, the third person has somewhere 70,000, till the last whatever the number is. What we want is these 6 employees' salaries to be summed, and for this we are going to use sum function. So we will write sum of what? Salary. And then our data should be group. Now let's select this query and run. You can see in finance we have this 3,40,000 whatever the number is. Let's see what this sum function does. This sum function, it returns the total sum of numerical columns. So if there's a numerical column, what it will do, it will return the total sum of all those columns. Let me also tell you about the alias. So what alias is that, as you can see, this department is a column within the table present. So in output we can see department, but here you can't see the name of the column because it's a derived column, not a column from within the table. So when it's a derived table, it has written as no column name. But when your boss sees, he won't be able to understand what this column means. To make it easier and readable, we use as we can write which name we want to give to this column. We want total salary. So let's write. That's it. Then let's select again. And you can see now this column 2 has a name which we have provided here. So that's alias. Now let's move to the next question. What is the average number of salary in each department? So in this department, we saw what's their max salary, what's their minimum salary. But now the question is that if we want to find what's their average salary. So let's write our question. Now let's write our select statement. Now in output we want department. So in select we will write department column. And then we want average of their salaries. So here we will use AVG function. AVG. AVG of what? Salary. And then we want our data to be grouped based on department. So let's run this query. And these are their average salary. So you can see now operations average salary is somewhere of 84 to 84,375. Function, it returns the average value of a numerical column. Please download this file because I'm going to write few questions. I'm going to write few problem statements for you to practice. Please download this file. So in summary, the group by statement helps us to organize our data into groups, while aggregate functions allow us to perform calculations on those groups to gain valuable insights. With these tools in your SQL toolbox, you can analyze and understand your data like a pro. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of SQL and databases. I hope you found this video insightful and informative. If you have any questions or topics that you would like me to cover in the future videos, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more contents like this. Until next time, happy querying.